Hello, and welcome back to another sermon of Yap. Before we begin, by the way, I just want to do a quick thank you to a few sinners who have joined us when I wasn't even live. So thank you very much to Splatoon Noodles for following, for Unlucky48 following, and for Stony Clipping for following as well, who followed literally 17 minutes before we even started, so thank you very much to all of those. Have I missed anyone? I hopefully haven't. No, I don't think I've missed anyone. Good. So, welcome back, everyone. It is once again that time where I talk your ear off, and yeah, it's that time. So, how have you all been? Hey, Termancer. My God, you've turned up when I haven't been talking weird. My God, twice in a row. That's good going. That's good going for you so far. Maybe I've become less freaky. Maybe. I've toned it down some. Probably not. Uh, Welcome. How are you doing? And how is everyone else doing as well? How are you all doing? I hope you're all doing well. I hope you've all been taking good care of yourselves. Hopefully you haven't gotten too fat and plump over Easter. Because, let's be honest, a few of you had a good egg, haven't you? I'm good, I'm currently over the moon. Oh? Oh? Anything you'd like to share? Obviously, up to you if you want to, but good news is good news. It's very good to hear. I do like hearing my sinners are doing well. I do, honestly. I always like to hope you guys are doing okay. Makes me feel better. It does. I always think if I'm feeling a bit rough, I'm thinking, hopefully my people are doing okay. The person I've been talking to is now. Hell yeah. Hell fucking yeah. Official. That's what we like to hear. Man needed this W. You damn well got it. Good on you, man. Congratulations to the both of you. That's what we like to hear. We do like a good W in chat. We do. Say well done to you, man. Well done to you, seriously. I know you mentioned a while ago things are going a bit shitty, so I'm glad to hear things have gone up for you. They don't worry about how it's happened. It's official. You're here. And it's all good. Don't worry about the hows and whys. As long as it's real and genuine, it's all good. Maybe you'll figure that out for yourself, how it happened, but hey. All that matters, it happened, you're here, and you're happy. That's what matters most. Oh, excuse me, I do. Move off the middle of the screen a bit more. There we go. Ah. I also decided to use this outfit for a change because I don't use this enough. Honestly, I really don't, actually, so I'm going to start. I'm saying this. I've been using it more recently, but yeah. On the first day, I talked for an hour about the Holy Roman Empire, how to recover from that. Ah, you found somebody who likes a nerdy person. That's a good thing, by the way. Very good. It's okay. At least you'd talk about history. My ass would probably go off on some random topic, and one day somehow turn into a long rant about my setting I'm creating, so, you know. I'd say you're doing just fine. Don't you worry about it. Hey, a lot of people struggle to figure out what to talk about, honestly. I mean, hell, I have that issue sometimes. So, you know what? Take it as a big dub. You're doing good, man. You're doing damn good. Sip my drink. But I'm very happy for you, man. Seriously, we do like good news here. So, chat, I've actually been productive this week. I discovered an alcohol that was actually fun to drink by itself and not taste like piss. Hell yeah! Oh, what was it, by the way? Was it cider? Cider's pretty good on its own. I'm curious. Some beers apparently okay. So I'm a spirits man myself. Although I had a cider, so amaretto. So amaretto. That sounds familiar. I must admit, I'm very weak for Disaronno. Actually, I can drink it neat, and it's like. Have you ever had marzipan? It tastes like liquid marzipan. It's great. Has a bit of a kick to it on its own, but it is quite nice. I had a litre bottle of that for my birthday. Oh, very nice. Went to an Italian the year before and discovered it. Very nice. Also, that place had amazing cheap drinks. But amaretto, I will think vanilla. I will have a nosy at that. That sounds interesting. Oh, I forgot there was one that was like. I can't remember what it was. It was like Bailey's, but it was much stronger. That was like creamy. It was quite nice. Surprisingly nice, actually. But no, I'll have to have a look into that. That sounds quite nice. But, I've actually been pretty productive this week, chat. I know, shockingly, I've been productive. I have produced 4 videos this week. I need to edit the other 2. But I have recorded 4, I've produced 2, ready to go, and 2 more for the next week. To say I feel very productive would be an understatement. It honestly feels pretty great. Oh yeah, I've been, as the kids would say, hustling a little bit. Yes. So obviously, I lastminute.com my video for Tuesday, naturally. But obviously, I've not been working these last couple of weeks. I've had the joy of being nowhere near my day job for a few weeks now, so yeah, I'm feeling pretty good on that one. Honestly, if I never see the place again, it'd be a miracle, but unfortunately, I will have to next week. Kill me. But I have next week's Credible Confessions recorded. I also have this week's and next week's Neo Eden Archives on ready as well. Yes. Yes, So, for those who don't know, I started a 3rd channel because I'm a fucking lunatic. And basically, I decided that the setting I often talk about, the one that my VTuber lore evolved into, I decided, fuck it, I'll make my own channel where I do audios about the lore. So, I've been doing bits of art for it. I've been doing audio recordings for it, and just in general trying to create it. I actually had some stuff written down already that I've now gone and made into an actual full audio. I'm hoping it'll be alright. That one I've recorded today is quite packed, so I might have to make chapters or something. Probably to make it a bit more seamless. But we'll see. But point is, I have that one done, and then there's one that's going to go up this Sunday, which is more focused. So hopefully that'll fulfill the needs of those who were a bit thrown off by my ramblings on the first one. They're more in character rather than like overview, so hopefully a bit more entertaining as well. bit of a different kind of channel, that. I only mention it just as a little pet project of mine. I think it's pretty neat personally, but, you know. And it's done better than I expected, so, you know, feeling pretty good about that. I'm aiming for those videos to go live on a Sunday. They're kind of intended to sit apart from the rest of my stuff. So, like, because it's not VTuber content necessarily, so I don't mind it releasing at the same time I'm doing a stream, because the way I see it, it can sit on its own, right? Because to me, it should be able to. I've not really. I've directed some traffic to it from my other channels, but the point is it's supposed to sit on its own, as its own thing. So someone could enjoy that without touching anything else I've done, if they wanted. But if they want to do the rest, great. And it may introduce more people to me. It may also become its own audience, and that's fine. That's fine. I don't mind. But that's a little extra thing I've been working on recently. So, early days, but yeah. So in short, Cobral's a fucking lunatic who has 3 channels. What's the mildly funny story about how me and my partner started being official? Ooh, go on then. I'll take a funny story. Mildly or anything else. Oh, also, to the wonderful lurkers, by the way, I have a little points thing now. That's a 1 point little, I call it the lurker prayer. It's just to let Twitch know you're there. Feel free to use it if you like. Just wanted to let you guys know it's there, and it simply costs 1 point. I have to lurk for now. No worries. No worries, man. Don't worry about it. I'm pretty sure you're playing Rivals, aren't you? I'm pretty sure you are marveling your rivals at this point. But yeah, that points one's there just in case you guys would like it. I'm not gonna lie though. I was surprised how productive I ended up being, especially today. Oh. Friday will be the editing and putting that all together. And then Saturday I have a driving lesson, which will be nice. And then Sunday, well, other than the stream, we'll probably be planning a bit for next week's Dark Heresy. I'd like to be a little ahead of the curve if I can. It'll just make things easier, you know? The less I have to do in the week, the better. And if I can focus in on stuff I'm doing the next week, that's great. We were binging Lord of the Rings in bed, watching from the TV, and the power went out, and she accidentally punched me in the face so hard that she asked it. Oh. We were binging Lord of the Rings in bed, watching from the TV. The power went out, and she accidentally punched me in the face hard. Then she asked me if I want to be official while putting ice on my head. Well, that's one way to beat the love into somebody, eh? Hey. This is a very big twist on the, she falls on you kind of thing. But no. Get bonked, then get loved. Yeah, that's fucking... I can see what you mean by being mildly funny. Hey, well. It started memorably, which means it'll probably be a long-lasting one. That's all I'm hearing. You will always have that story now. You will always have that story. They'll ask, oh, how did you meet? And you look her dead in the eyes and go, she punched me in the face. You will always have that. Honestly, sounds like a good foundation to me. How is your face, by the way? Hopefully your face is doing okay. Mildly bruised, but it's okay. Your face is bruised, but your pride is swollen to the nth degree. As we all know, a firmed up pride can remove any pain. To be fair, if I was in a really good mood, I probably wouldn't be feeling too in pain. So, it's fair enough, I'd say. That is fair enough. Oh, God. I swear, I need time. I've slept in just fine today. Ugh, I've been trying to get my sleeping schedule back on track, chat. I have. It's not been super successful, but I've been trying to get myself in a more reasonable sleep schedule. If nothing other than I'll be going back to work next week, I don't want to completely nail myself. Because I'm going to have to get up very early Monday. God. Yeah, getting up at 5:45 in the morning is not... I'm not looking forward to it, I'll be honest. Ugh, God, I'm not looking forward to that at all. Anyway, just wanted to pop in and chat a bit before going back to reading some books. No worries, man, no worries. And big congrats to you. Really happy for you, seriously. You needed a dub, and you got a damn good one. You enjoy your reading, sir. So, chat. Some of you fuckers voted for a horror game this week. Yeah, you did. You voted for a horror game. My dear sinners. A horror game. Apparently, some of you wanted to hear me squeal, so you wanted me to play Alien Isolation. Bastards. Honestly. Honestly. I'm told it's a very scary game, so this should be interesting. But we are going to finish Ultra Kill first, if possible. I am expecting my hands to hurt like fuck afterwards, going off the last time I played it, but you know, I've been fairly gentle with my hands recently, so I think I'll be okay. You know, in retrospect, I sounded really sus, but I'm just gonna move on from it. Kerbal's being gentle and tense. I do this to myself, I really do. It just doesn't sound right, does it? Let's be honest here. It sounds like I'm discussing something far more filthy. I can already see the clip. You know, I'm just gonna move on. We're gonna move on. But yes, it's a bit of a different week. Although, ironically, Alien Isolation, I think Creative Assembly was part of it, did help in the production, if not the creation of it. So, ironic. I haven't touched a CA game in a while. On stream, anyway. So, we'll see what happens. So, to mention about Total War, by the way, so I know some of you joined me through that. Now, I've been away from it for a bit, messing around a smidge here and there with the silly crab mod, and I've enjoyed it, and maybe some point in the near future we will play it more. But I'm a bit hesitant. My only thing is, and it's a problem I've noticed while playing it, as much as I like the game, I do. I have played so much of it that most starts, in fact, most campaigns start feeling very samey. Now, they're not exactly the same, but it's like, okay, once you've played a good portion of the factions, you've really played a lot of what the variety can do for you. Now, is that to say I'm sick of it? No, no. But, you know, I've got to think about not just am I a bit tired, but also you guys. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to do the same thing every time and potentially bore the shit out of you. Don't want that. So, a big thing for me is I want to try and keep things fresh for you guys. You know, I want to try new things. I want to step outside my comfort zone a little bit here and there. Hence, trying some horror games that I hadn't tried before. Hence, trying some of the stuff you guys suggested, honestly. And, you know, to that end, I've been very keen to expand a bit. So, Total War's not going anywhere. We will be returning to it. I might be tempted to try some other Total Wars, by the way. Especially, like, Rome, for example, and maybe Three Kingdoms, honestly. I'd be quite keen, obviously, for the later editions, like, obviously 40k, definitely, and Medieval. Medieval 3, if it's half the game that it's looking to be, should be really interesting. Honestly, Medieval 2 had so many systems. Like, you could... This is going to sound weird, but you could see upgrades to your units. Okay? Your spearmen levies would get armored and have chainmail and some plate upon them. You know, looking like actual troops. I think they were spear militia rather than levies, but point is, they looked the part. You know, if you upgraded armor, you would see it. And that wasn't common after that point, so I'm really hopeful for that, for one. Also the variety. There's actually a good variety. I think there were some early black powder units knocking around towards the end of the game. And I'm hoping for stuff like that, and generals' personalities actually reflecting in some buffs they get, debuffs they get. General speech would be nice too. Matched combat again, that'd be nice, especially for historic stuff, right? I think for the historical stuff, there's no excuse. You can do matched combat for historic stuff. I will let off the idea that, you know, the Warhammer stuff is harder. Like, someone's made a mod for it, right? To add matched combat. Which maybe says more about Creative Assembly than anything else if a modder can do it. Just saying, it's, you know, there's a lot of excuses, but if one guy in a basement can do it, then a company that big, look, that big can definitely afford to do that. Definitely afford it. Creative Assembly is a massive company, by the way. Just to stress, I think they're one of the biggest in this country, and they're not exactly skint. So, you know. One thing I am quite happy about, though, is it looks like Dawn of War 4 and Total War 40k will come out at the same time. Now, here's the thing. The reason I'm happy about this is because they will have to compete. Now, what do I mean by this? Total War 40k and Dawn of War 4 share many similar things, obviously both being a Warhammer 40,000 strategy game, right? An RTS. Now, the styles will be different, but the point is they will cover a lot of similar stuff. They'll have a lot of similar units, and in many ways might have similar styles of play. Now, obviously, there's going to be a massive difference. There's no base building in the RTS map, for Total War and so on. But you'll be able to scratch a fairly similar itch. And if Dawn of War 4 lets me scratch my 40k RTS itch better than Total War 40k, you can gather how that's going to go. So they know that there's a competition now. And hopefully that encourages innovation, that encourages really pulling the finger out. Because, let's be honest, as much as I like Warhammer 3, the series peaked at 2. Warhammer 2, at the end of its life cycle, was amazing. Its start was rough, but nowhere near as rough as the third game. And it peaked. And the third game has basically been trying its fucking hardest to get to the same kind of peak, as far as how fun it was. Because the end of 2 was so good. Everything was perfect. And don't get me wrong, 3 had a lot of good systems, but they got so lazy with 3. The amount of reskins that they tried to get away with at the start, like, they got away with trying to get so much shit. It's like, come on. You can't do that. And I'm glad now 40k will not be without competition. So they cannot get away with that. To my understanding as well, they are finally upgrading the engine, which is good, because the Warscape engine's fucking old. And 40k is going to need a new system, really, anyway. I'm just being blunt here. You can't really do the same stuff with 40k as you did with Fantasy. A line of guardsmen will not withstand the withering bolt of fire. Just intercessors, let alone heavy bolters or anything like that. Obviously, it'll be all Primaris, which is like, okay. They're here to stay, but they'll probably look more like Firstborn Marines bit by bit. I will say, I don't know what it is with new Space Marines. They just, to me, look a bit bland. I've seen a lot of hard defenses of like the Vanguard vet they showed off, but like, here's the thing: the comparison they used against him wasn't the sergeant. It was a normal guy in the Vanguard veteran squad who already looked about as ornamented. Here's the thing: the guy they're comparing him against is the sergeant of the unit. The Space Marine with the golden helmet is the veteran sergeant. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's the veteran sergeant. That's why he's got the plasma pistol. And he's like, okay. And the power sword. Like, hang on a second. The old one had a massive relic blade and a grav pistol, for starters. Had ornamentation on his jump pack. Had way more fancy bits all over his body. And had more character. Also, the armor was way more varied. I know I'm nagging here, but the point is, Marines had a lot of character to them. And they just dumbed them down. It's like, come on. That's the Games Workshop problem, though. Creative Assembly will have to make their stuff look like Games Workshop stuff. That's unavoidable. Dawn of War 4 had the same problem. So, it is what it is. They can't do anything about that. Hopefully, they can do some stuff with the models, make them look fun. They've done it before, made the models, the units look interesting, so I'm hopeful for that. G-dubs, yeah, they need to really... Like, it's annoying, because Heresy exists, and you can see a lot more personality in what's very much a large amount of units that are intended to be fairly, like, standardized, to a point anyway. But they already feel more characterful. I don't know. Maybe I just have a knack for the older armor marks, potentially. Although I do miss a good Mark 7. I'm not gonna... Give me that Angry Vox grill. Give me the Angry Vox grill. That's a Spec Marine to me. Personally, anyway. But what do I know? I'm just random bean in the corner who likes Warhammer. That's why. Because Chaos still has those helmets. What can I say? The Chaos Gods do provide, after all. But at least it's better than the Blood Angels. They've massacred those boys. Especially when you compare to Dark Angels and Space Wolves. Oh. Oh. It's a violation. Well and true. Genuine violation. Speaking of the hammers of the wars, would anyone, up to you if you want to, let me know, but would anyone like to say what they thought about the presentation, by the way? Was it something you enjoyed? Was it something you want more of? Or do you think, nah, one and done, we're good? What are your thoughts, genuinely? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Would you like another stream like it? Especially one where, um, I actually trim it down a bit and actually make a video out of it. Would you like that? Would you like something a bit more, like for the live channel? Would you like it if, I trimmed down certain highlights for these streams and actually made them into a video? Would that be something you'd like? Honestly. Because if it is, I can certainly look into doing it. I can't guarantee it'll happen overnight, but I can certainly try my best. With that being said, though, it would be another thing I'd have to do. My private life is turning into me making shit nowadays. We will paint that night at some point. God, I have a colour scheme down now. I have a colour scheme. I'm quite pleased with it, honestly. It's weird, right? I essentially have to turn another paint into a shade, which isn't that difficult. It's just a bit of lambia medium to kind of, or contrast medium to get the newer bottles. But point is, you get your medium, you get your black paint, put it together, and wash over the top. And then once it's like pretty darked down, so it's like almost black, then you come in with those muddier textures. It's more that green, just sort of like use like a sponge or something to like sponge it on. That's what I did anyway, and I'm quite happy that looks. Do a bit of washing in places, add the metallics, wash them down, make them look nice and decrepit. I might give them an extra. I might give them some cryptech. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe for like some of the areas, bit of a cryptech. It's a really dark brown. It's good for like deepening the brass. Looks really nice, honestly, when done properly. I think it's Cryptic Armor Shade. I think it's called that. Really nice. The Necron's sort of primary colour scheme, the ones the Silent King have in particular, have that scheme. That stuff. But I'd use it very sparingly. I'm also debating on the night whether I'd do a bit more fanciful stuff on the Eye of Horus. We'll see. My original idea was to make a Nurgle thing out of green stuff for it, but I've just given him tentacles instead. I think I've given him just enough Nurgle without making it too different. Like, I still wanted it to look like a Night Lancer, but he's been Nurgled up enough to look chaosy. Big old horn on his head for good measure, and some tusks underneath. Itty bitty tusks. So, I'm quite happy how he turned out. Initially. The paint work will make him. Oh, I've got to paint on the metallics though, chat. I've got to paint all that metal. So much metal. It's my own fault. I should have sprayed in metallic, but I don't have any metallic spray, so. Thankfully, white or light grey isn't hard to paint over. So, we should be okay on that front. We should be okay on that one. Now, Let me think. Is there anything else that crosses my mind that's relevant at the moment? Oh, actually, speaking of painting, I had a little chat with a friend of the channel. You may remember them. I had a little interview with them. Soul King Xander. You may remember it. He did a nice little art piece, which you can see on the Discord, as we did a little yap. And so Xander reached out to me and said, "Hey, would you like to do a bit of a what's the wording? Just have a look. What's the wording? Painting challenge over the course of a year. So the idea would be that we try and paint our backlog and sort of motivate each other to do so. Which I accepted, because I thought it'd be quite nice. So we might do a few more painting streams, potentially, in short. I think that could be quite fun. Hopefully you agree. And sort of on top of that, I'm thinking once I've built and assembled a few more of my box for Red Corsairs, I just bulk do them. Some of it I'll do on stream, and that might be the best time to do them, potentially. I'll have to try and, I guess, figure out. My only thing is, like, I find myself doing it slower when I do it on stream, but I think it's because I want to make sure that I'm chatting with you guys and keeping you entertained, because at the end of the day, I'm streaming to entertain you, you're here to be entertained. It'd be pretty terrible if I sat there and just went the whole time, right? I mean, obviously, you want to see me paint, which is wonderful. I'm glad to be able to share that with you. I've also been doing some art. I don't think it's great, in my humble opinion. I don't think it's very good. But at the same time, I'm trying to just go, no, just create it. So, 1 second. Let me show you. Let me show you real quick. This paint. 1 second. Let me pull up my gallery. Real quick. Let me move me a little bit out of the way. There you go. Now I need to share my screen over here, don't I? 1 second. Maybe it's paint. There we go. So, that was one of my thumbnails. I decided I would attempt to draw a vault door, a kind of greenish bricked outline. It wasn't terrible, but I'm not massive on it, right? I attempted a bit of shading as well. The lines aren't straight in this at all. God damn. But it was something I tried, right? I wanted to try something different. Don't worry about this. I'm not great with drawing bodies yet, let alone horses. So this is for a later concept. Don't worry about the Guna fault. God damn it, Cheeto. I forgot all about that. So I've been trying a few things here. This was my attempt at a mechanical vehicle. This is a sketch I admittedly traced over this because I wanted a reference to hand. And it isn't a perfect trace, but it's essentially I wanted a bit of a trace of a sketch of I think it was a French medium tank from World War II, if memory serves. I do have the original image somewhere, but basically I wanted to do this just to kind of as an exercise of trying to straighten my lines if I could. I kind of achieved it in some places, but I just wanted to figure out the shape of the tank in my mind. Once I'd done the trace, I put it to the side, and then used it as a reference, so this uses a lot of its body, but I was slowly making adjustments to it to then later on make my own thing from scratch, essentially. Just some adjustments here and there, adding extra turrets, some extra detailing, just because I was feeling like it. The tracks I'm not happy with, honestly. I need to find a better way of doing tracks. Maybe doing like a thick line and removing bits every so often. I'll figure that bit out eventually. And adjustments to the turret, just to kind of try and make my own thing more. And adjustments to the armor, just little bits. To the back here. It's gonna be used for design later, but you know, it's gonna take a bit of work. That is. You've probably all seen this. The Reaver class Corvette. Not done. Not done in the slightest. Definitely very rough. Yeah. And then this bad boy, the Lowrider. It's yeah, I don't know how the zoom's so weird in this. Yeah, it's a fun little hover vehicle. I'm not completely sold on its design yet. I think these might need to be further up, and the rear sort of part of it, I wasn't too sure if I wanted it to kind of be like a ring around the thruster, or be like a front ring like this. It was kind of a combination of a few little things I found online. Not 100% on its design, but it was what I made, so, you know. Threw it together, tried to work out an idea of like cutting into the shape the turret to go into, essentially. And then I did attempt a bit of like blending and shading in places. Very crude rendering, I guess you could say. So, you know. Hey, Oku.
15 months of only angels and still no new pics SMH.
I'm getting them commissioned. Well, I said, whoa, hang on, actually. Before I said I'm getting them commissioned, they're not saucy pics getting commissioned, okay? Yeah. God fucking. Hang on, let this again. Right, let me put myself up. Thank you for 15 months, Oku. Holy shit. 15 whole months of Oku. It feels like yesterday. How you doing, buddy? How are you? Are we an EP Oku today, or are we a hungry Oku today? Although apparently a thirsty Oku might also be applicable. Going off that message. Tired. Oh, I know the feeling. I do know the feeling, honestly. I have been very drained. I'm surprised my voice is holding out so well. I got my hands on a Power Macintosh 8500 by 120. Can I fix it up? Damn. I mean, hey. Nothing wrong with that. We have a little nosy at what we're looking at here. Have a look. Just show me. Oh, damn. Oh, wow. Now that is old school. Damn. You ain't gonna find anything like that in Apple's repertoire anymore. That is a classic. What are you thinking, trying to modernize it? Is that kind of the idea? You're gonna try and modernize it, give it some new bits, potentially? Give it them. I mean, I hear RAM prices are slowly starting to whittle down. One of the few things we can thank Google for, I believe. Yes, they found a way to make AI use less resources. Probably just put it how it originally came. Honestly, people would probably be into that. There's definitely a retro market out there. Hell, what's the chap's name? He's in our server. Dwarf. I forget his proper name, but he's in the server. He's a cleric. He has a whole room, I believe he was building. Yeah, he built a whole room of old setups. So there's definitely people who are into that. To get a few new parts for it. I was going to say, I imagine a lot of its original bits are bloody impossible to come by. Although I doubt it'll need DDR5, so... basic 3D print. I mean, hey, you've got a 3D printer. Make use of it, man. They're not cheap. So, especially like a resin one. Yeah, go for it. I've seen some lunatics solder on chips to their graphics cards recently, which is insane to me. I think it was in some like gaming article, and I was like, why are we even reporting about this? No one can do that just randomly. Just like, I'm gonna solder some more RAM into my GPU. I'm like, what? I'm soldering RAM. I don't have one, but my uncle has one, and my old computer still in touch with has one. Okay. Fair enough. So you've got options to print it off. That's fair. I'll be honest, if I had one, I'd be printing off Warhammer Minis. I'll be honest, I would be printing out Warhammer Minis. Or Minis. Honestly, if I was any good at Blender, I don't know the first thing about Blender, but if I was any good at Blender, I would have created something. Infinite mins, but no minis. Exactly. All we need now is for 3D. I'll tell you what the most horrifying thing will be. Is the day a 3D printer can not just 3D print a physical object, but can color it for you as well. When we can somehow make the resin or whatever material we're using change color to how we want. Then it's over. Then it's over. I will say that. I'm just still debating on putting System 7 up. I assume like an old Mac system, or about Windows here? I presume we're about an old Mac system. I must admit, I'm not as familiar with old school Apple. It came with 7, but currently. Oh, okay. I suppose it depends. I mean, how much of an effort would it be to upgrade it? I mean, I'd be interested if that thing's still able to use the internet, honestly. I assume it can, but whether it's set up for a lot of stuff. Oh, but any interesting. Oh, I guess, yeah, it's old school, so yeah. Gotta admit, I do wonder, how's its storage, by the way? Because I imagine that thing's not got a lot of storage. Oh god, it'll have a floppy disk reader, won't it? Well, that is rare. I actually, a few gigs, I think. Ooh, die. God, I remember when a terabyte was considered an insane amount. If only they knew how many games I'd fit in a terabyte. And then 2 terabytes. Honestly, though, I had, in my day job, one of the managers had to bring in a floppy disk reader for me because we had someone send in a floppy disk. And so I had this bit of hardware that could take floppy disk and send the data over to a modern device. That was a wild day. People were like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm currently deciphering a relic. As tragic as that is going to be for some of you who are older, them things are fucking relics. Let's be real. This was not a bad capacity one, if memory serves. It was actually a fairly impressive capacity, but I was amazed this person had this still functional. This was not a new floppy. This was a fairly old floppy. I think I had like a deed or a will on it or something, but it was old school. I got it for him though, but damn, I was like, I was happy that we could have done it, but I was like, Jesus, if we hadn't had one of these here, yeah, we would have been kind of stuffed. They were very lucky we had someone who was old enough to still have something like that knocking around. I swear sometimes my field is one of those fields where just shit moves so quickly. Ugh. I'm still not looking forward to whatever bullshit Microsoft produces in the next year or two, honestly. I don't want to know what Windows 12 is going to be like. It's going to be all AI. I'm sure of it. Floppy disks make a good coats. They do. They do. I love how we don't use the discs anymore, but that big, thick magnetic tape. That shit's great. We actually had a fireproof box in the office for the longest time, filled with magnetic tape backing up the servers. Genuinely. We actually had this. I don't think we have it anymore because we have a different solution now for doing that, but yeah, we had that shit. Like, within the last couple of years. So, you know. Although nowadays I think we have something different now. I don't know if all beats because I'm not that involved with that end of things. By design, I think only certain people are because, like, a little in the know thing for some of you. You never actually delete anything from backups. Literally, they all like. This is the fucked thing, by the way. You only realize this when you start hearing about stuff or being anywhere near anything. And I know people who are doing it, so hence how I know. But like, they always have your fucking data. I'm not even kidding. Like, when you destroy the data, we're just removing it from like the live stuff, right? The old shit, the backup, if it's been in there long enough to be in the backup, it's still there. Like, if it's been able to go to deep storage, yeah, we still have it. Technically, from a legal standpoint, we don't have it. But from a physical, do we have it in an absolute oh shit emergency? Yes. Yes, we do. In cold storage. In many cases. There's a lot of shit that we technically still have that technically, from a legal perspective, is gone. But from a physical perspective, does still exist. Just not accessible. Like in an off-site somewhere, I believe. It's never gone unless the only ever been physically made and only physical made is destroyed. Exactly. If it's not on a server somewhere. Exactly. The only time you won't have that is a lot of these VPN servers, because if they run off RAM the way they supposedly do, that shit gets turned off, bye-bye data, all gone. That's why it's pointless to subpoena one, because it's just never going to have the data you want. But, you know. It's why I wasn't very surprised to find out that a bunch of these companies that take your Face ID stuff still have your data. Like, yeah, that's why I don't want to give it. That's why I'm not giving it. Got round it, thankfully. At least Discord realised people weren't happy with how it was being dealt with, because that company they were working with fucking keeps it. think there was one that was discovered very easily to still have loads of data of people, and it was fucking accessible. Oh, no worries, buddy. You have a good one. Thank you for the resubber. See you in a little bit. Oh. You know, I swear it's just this time of day. It just drains me or something. It's so, like, should I just have a nap or something before stream? Then again, that's not normal viable. I wish it was something I could do. Goddamn day job. It's fine though, because I'm going to be on the road soon, chat. Only for like an hour, but, you know, that will eventually turn into I can go on the road whenever. And then I will hopefully be home at a reasonable hour. 'Tis the plan, anyway. Hopefully, if it all goes well, I will be consistently home around 5 o'clock, eventually. It may even mean, depending on circumstances, chat, I may be able to stream earlier. Maybe. If nothing else, I will have more time to do things. So I won't be as rushed starting to stream. I'll probably keep it at the same time because it's what you're all used to, but give me more time to do shit. Be nice. That's a long way away though. But it's starting. We're on the path now. So we'll get there eventually. We will. Speaking of paths, like I said, I've been able to do a bit more of my art, so I'm going to try and improve that a bit. I've got a few things I really want to draw, but I know my ability to do so isn't great. So I'm probably going to start trying to draw people again. Now, I admit I got a bit pissed off trying to draw people, and it started really annoying me, so I stopped. And I don't know how to explain it. I found a lot of the stuff that teached you how to draw didn't really teach you how to draw. If that makes sense. Or like how to do it, like a lot of the like how to put it. Like it would say, oh, this if you're new, you know, come here, and it's like it would just tell you about half the fucking video be, oh, you're not too old. I'm like, I don't fucking care about my age right now. I was here because you said you could show me how to draw. And after a lot of frustration, I was like, okay, this video isn't getting me anywhere. I don't know, maybe it's just me and how I learn shit, but I just found a lot of them to be really piss poor. Some of them have been okay, but I found a lot of them just not very helpful, and I just got so angry. I was just like, no, I'm annoyed. So, but I'm gonna give it another shot. Now that I've been drawing again. It's not perfect, and I think I'm gonna have to learn how to do colouring stuff. Some of that will require me better learning Ibis Paint. I've been using that predominantly. I might go to using Clip Studio. It depends if that one ends up feeling a bit more usable for me. I don't know. Ibis Paint's been okay for now, but we'll see. It can be a bit fiddly, I've found, now and again. It has certain ways of doing things that are, like, annoying. So, I've not been 100% on how I want to do stuff. Like, some of the stuff I've seen for colouring, like, supposedly you can make a ring around the item, and then, like, oh, there's a layer underneath, and then that will then stop you from colouring over the lines. Though, I think, to some extent, that needs to be done per layer. Well, not well. What I should do is have certain things on certain layers, and then do it like that, and then just split it all up. It's probably how I should do it. That's probably the big. I need to get better with layers, I think. I need to make use of the digital stuff. Because it's definitely gonna help me. I think, anyway. But eventually I would like to get used to Clip Studio, though. To be honest. I would like. But I want to get the fundamentals down first. Like, I want to get to the point where I can draw, and draw at an alright level. And then once I can draw at an alright level, I can then get better with the tools. But I guess Ibis Paint, to be fair, is simpler. But there's always a question of, is the simplicity too simple? Is it? But then I've seen a lot of people do really nice stuff on it, so it might be just me. It's probably a bit of both. Mostly me. Just fine, because, well, it does its job. It does. And I've managed to create stuff. But I guess as well, I need to make sure I'm still enjoying the process, right? I want to be able to enjoy the process. So, I've recently been on a bit of a binge of drawing some vehicles, but I want to be able to draw some other stuff. My main things I'd like to be able to draw is one of the units from the Stimmer faction. They're Marauders. I have this idea of like a World War One meets medieval aesthetic, like kind of plate and Kevlar. Well, I guess bit of modern, bit of World War One, a bit of medieval, like a bit of plate, bit of Kevlar, with like World War era gas masks, and maybe like the big sort of wide brim, like that Helldivers Warbond, and then have like these kind of really rugged guns that look a bit like I forget the name of them, but they've got like a circular disc on top of them where the ammunition's fed from. Like that kind of thing. That kind of look. With like brutal, like kind of fire axes and stuff like that. So, really kind of go for that sort of trench raider look. That's what I want for them. With some like obvious like pipes and stuff on them, feeding them like some nutrients and probably also juicing them up a bit. As they essentially need constant drugs to keep them at full capacity. The other thing I want to do, well, I want to do two other things. Cyber Angels, just in general. I want to draw myself, of course, but I'd also like to do a generic, like, a low order Cyber Angel. So, mine would be a high order, being as they're a Seraphim, but I want to like a low order one. Maybe like going off of the actual biblical terminology, probably like one of the powers potentially. They often have like a sword, so I was kind of thinking they have like a quite prominent sword in the design. Maybe their sword arm has like some extra ornamentation and cybernetics on it. They'd have like the energy wings like mine, but they wouldn't have the extra wings. With like their own kind of halo kind of going on. Other than that, maybe like a face mask as well, potentially. That might make it easier to draw the face initially. That's something like mask. Like, a bit like if you played Enfield, the Administrator's mask, like that. That kind of like face mask on there. And then the last thing I'd really like to do is draw one of the Dragoons for my setting. Like a cyborg centaur. If you look up Rosetta from Punishing Grey Raven, her most recent frame was a massive inspiration for that. I love the idea of like a very non-standard cyborg. the idea of this sort of like centaur-like design that's like, but cross it in this case, cross it with some like Mongolian kind of themes. Um, Maybe some like the armor having a bit of that similar kind of scale mail to it. Probably a top knot, some like very ornate helm, and great kind of like one of their arms will probably be covered in like a big, massive particle weapon. At least that's the idea. Anyway. And maybe from like the more heretic side of things, maybe like the heretic raiders. I think the working name I had for them was the Dust Devils. They're like kind of Wendigo looking guys, like really strange and lengthened like mechanical limbs on them. That same kind of like skull of the Wendigo. Like weapons built onto them essentially. Like they're a terror unit essentially. That's some ideas I've had anyway. Hopefully I'll get round to them. But I've got a lot of vehicle ideas I want to. I'm very tempted to try my hand at drawing some of the ancients, the big sort of mechanical angels that are more like the biblically accurate, as they call them. Not actually biblically accurate technically, but that one artist rendition that kind of became what everyone called biblically accurate. Like the eye with the wings, etc. I want to do something like that. Kind of have a similar, almost eldritch quality to them. Um, the main two I'm thinking of using is the Seraphim and the Oraphim. The Oraphim's the one with the rings around it. I kind of wanted the Oraphim to be kind of like a moving gun platform, whereas the Seraphim's more just the easiest way to explain it is it obliterates things of like hacking and stuff essentially. Not quite hacking, it's some other stuff, but if you think of like a massive like caster. That's probably the best way to describe it. Like a massive caster. That's my thinking. So I wanted to sort of do both of them. These massive celestial beings, essentially. They might be a bit easier, because they're kind of meant to be kind of abstract, but then I have a lot of ideas for them, so we'll see. We'll see. But I has ideas for them. I want to do. It's whether I get the time, the means, and also in particular the skill set. It's not an easy thing to get better at one's art, but I want to. I do want to. Again, it's just having that time, and I also need to get better at drawing wings. I can't draw wings for me. Wings are weird, but I want to get better at drawing them. I guess a big thing for me is I want not just to be able to draw something, but I want to be able to draw something in different poses and that kind of stuff. I need to do a lot of the fundamentals down. But I guess I want to kind of get myself confident in just drawing, and then try and learn the fundamentals. It's just frustrating for me because the fundamentals just don't sink into my head very nicely. I don't know what it is. They just don't play nice with me. And it's a me thing. It's completely a me thing. I don't know if it's just I don't enjoy the process of learning them as much, or if the struggle just ain't vibing with me. It's probably a bit of both. But I've got to do it. I've got to do it. I want to get better. You know? I'd like to hope that in a year's time, I'll be able to look back and go, yeah, I've gotten better. That's what I hope anyway. I hope that, like, it's one of those. I've got to kind of overcome this problem I have where I'm finding I'm doing a lot of stuff that takes a long time to bear fruit. And sometimes it doesn't feel worth it for me. But at the same time, I've got to do it because things won't get better if I don't. I realize I'm being a bit abstract, but you know what I mean, right? Or hopefully you know what I mean. I really get this feeling of I'm working away at something and it just does not feel like it's getting better. It probably is, but at the time it doesn't feel it. But there's only so many hours a day, and it's like I've got to try and really um, get myself doing stuff. But it's so fucking hard sometimes, chat. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I've got to really make myself just do a thing. Ugh. But I've been productive this week. That I can say categorically. I've done various drawings. I've made videos. I've edited them. I have 2 more that are ready for editing. I've been productive. If nothing else, I can say I've rested. I've been productive. And that's something I can be happy with myself. It's a small victory, but I'll take it. Whether I'll be able to be this productive next week, I don't know. But I'm hoping I've covered my ass a little bit by being productive now. And maybe I do more Friday as well. Hell, maybe I record another 2 fucking videos. Just so I'm covered. I might just do it, you know? It sounds insane. It does sound insane. Maybe I won't do a Kerbal Confessions, but maybe I might do 2 audios. We'll see. Something else I was wondering about, and I don't know how you guys feel about it, so let me know. But there's a small part of me that kind of wants to try and reopen my Patreon. Now, I would have to register myself as a business and all that crap. The joys. Although, I'm not in the position where I have to file taxes yet. One day, I will be, hopefully. It sounds bad, but like, at the same time, if I'm having to file taxes, it means I'm doing okay. You know? It means I'm earning more than the set amount from it. That's how I see it anyway. I think it's 1,000. Yeah, it's 1,000. If it starts earning more than 1,000, you gotta tell them. So, if it starts making that kind of money annually, then it's growing. But I have to have something set up as like a business technically, to then do a Patreon. But if I did enable it, it might mean I can put some stuff there early, and I'm thinking as well potentially like allowing a bit of contributions toward the setting. So if you really want me to elaborate on something or anything I've mentioned prior, you go, oh, this, or hey, have you considered this? And it's an ongoing setting that I'm developing, so which I would like making a game system at some point. I think that'd be kind of fun. I have a mock document for it, but I've not done much of it since. But potentially, if interest is there, I may reactivate it and try and set it all up. That's an idea anyway. It's a bit of a plan. But again, we'll see. I'm going to take it easy on that one, but it's something I wanted to float the idea of to you guys and see what you thought. And if you like the idea, great. If you don't like the idea, no worries, we won't do it. I'm gonna try and not have exclusives, but as I'll mention in the video, It's on the cards if you guys are okay with the idea. Unlurks. My god, he's unlurked himself. Unlurks your chatter. How you doing, buddy? How's the rivals? If you're still on rivals, that is. Shit, damn. That bad. Damn. That's rough, buddy. That's rough. You know, so you win some, you lose some, right? Healers that don't heal. Oh. Yeah, that's their one job. Healing. They ain't healing you. If they ain't healing, they're stealing. Damn bastards. Well, hey. Decompress. Slide to heal. Oh. Yeah, that's a rough one, buddy. I'm not gonna lie. That does not sound like a fun game at all to me. That does sound rather unfun. We're doing better. Oh. You telling me when healers heal? Things only bold words said here. Yeah, I still have Rivals installed. I haven't played much. Actually, I tell a lie. No, I've played a bit with some friends of mine. Some other friends of mine. I've played with them a little bit. Yeah, things tend to live longer when you heal. Exactly. Exactly. I don't remember who I was playing a bit of. I think I played a bit of Emma Frost, bit of Punisher, bit of White Fox, bit of Phoenix as well. Got a couple of things. Yeah. I was on your second monitor. Hey, saw the app. Ah, yes. Yeah, I posted a lot of it, but wanted to show off what I've been doing. I'm still. I know it ain't great. I know it's not great. I wanted to post it on Reddit as well, but I looked at everyone's really pretty art, and I was like, mine's not going to be considered good enough. So I didn't. But I posted it everywhere else. I feel like the more I do that, the more I feel comfortable showing off my art. Yeah, I'll be honest, I kind of gave up on drawing people for a while. I don't know, it just really pissed me off when I draw people. See, I've been posting some memes on Reddit every so often. That little post about me before and after makeup, for example. Some beans were quite amused. Weirdly. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I mean, I've had the Kerbal subreddit. I mean, would you guys want a Kerbal subreddit? Would you guys actually want a Kerbal subreddit? Genuinely. I feel like I don't have to be much of a point. I don't know. I feel like the Discord fulfills a lot of the same stuff. I could do one. If you guys really wanted, I could do one. I could make one. I know typically someone else sends to make one, but I could make one myself if you really wanted. If there was interest in the idea. You know? Oh, there you are. Smell. I need to look for later. But I don't really use Reddit unless I need help from deleted user 9 years ago. Honestly, It's good for that, though. It is good for that. I found some solutions to problems on Reddit for now at my job. So. Yeah. I don't know if you were hearing me talk earlier, Decker, but I really need to get better at drawing people. I must admit. I need to get better at people drawing. I've been trying my hand at vehicles, and I think vehicles I could probably get my head round quicker. But there's a lot of human-sized stuff I want to draw. No, it's alright, man. Don't worry about it. I was just saying I want to draw the Dragoons I had the idea for, the Centaur cyborgs, other Cyber Angels, and myself, but also like a low order Cyber Angel. And then the Stimmer Marauders with the mask. Hello, just as we're speaking about art, hello. Oh, the goon folder. Yeah, I made folders in Ibis Paint. I actually organized shit. It's going okay. I tried a couple things. I won't go over it so much at the moment. I could always jump into chat with you and Decker if you want me to tell you specifically, but I was trying a few things with some of the vehicles I was drawing. I had a weird thing of drawing vehicles, actually. It's all going to work. Oh. It'll be free soon, I'm sure. Soon in many hours. But yeah, I was trying some things. I wanted to try and like, because vehicles are more boxy typically, or more like shapy, like you know what I mean? Like a person's got a lot of curves, a lot of roundness, the muscles. Like, okay, if I just 1 second, I just show myself on screen real quick properly. Like, okay, like look at me for a minute here. Observe me real quick, chat, if you will. If I put my arms to my side here. Like, I've got a lot of shapes on me, right? I've got a lot of curve, got a lot of various different shapes all along me, right? I need some VCs sometime. I can do that to stream. You guys around there. Been practicing some poses so I can do winter outfit I had come up with. Cooler pose. Nice, nice. Covered them hips. The hips are very covered in this one, actually. The actual outfit itself, I think, covers them. But the wings also cover them, too. Oh, hey, paint. Oh, shit, I've got a multi-stream. No thing. God damn it. Got less than 20 days to paint 1k Winter Dark Eldar. I've also gone a bit of a thing, but for end of year, for trying to clear my backlog up, I really want to paint my Chaos, guys. But yeah, so you can see with me, right? There's a lot of different shapes, right? From every angle of me, there's so many shapes. If I switch this outfit, see my figure it better. Like again, the curving of the hips, the thighs, the various bits of the outfit, my arms. Yes, the arms are mechanical, but there's like the idea of artificial musculature, I guess. Like, I have not actual musculature on my arms because they're mechanical, but like they resemble that. You can see the bends and the joints, right, in the elbows and all this stuff. You know, people are complicated. I drew you so much. Remember your character details. Goddamn. Glad you do, because I fucking don't. I need to think of big something since you can't PayPal me 30k. Goddamn. Oh, I'm glad to hear it. Well, there is 1k point tournament end of the month. Ah, okay, okay. How are the Dark Eldar these days? Because they've quite often been meta, but also their range is suffering. They need to reduce from their models. Like, holy shit. See, I hope to get to the point, Ren, where I can also draw myself. It's super fun. The angel has some 4D shaping. Hmm. The joys of being live 2D. But I don't really want you to pay money for me. No, I understand, I understand. I think mostly enjoyed your heavier. I think I mostly enjoyed doing your heavy armor outfit, dark hair. Oh yeah, you did the drink emote. Yeah, life support. Oh, my poor Dark Eldar. It's so I still have one of their ships to build. Actually, the actual gunship rather than the transport. There's a whole combat patrol done, and I'll have a combat patrol worth of guys. I do like the incubi, but fuck, their range needs a. They need some life injected into them. I have gone back to the glory days, aka third to fifth ed. Ah, when things made sense. I want to do a doodle page of a lot of people just for fun. Juba. Ah, that's very nice of you. Thank you. Honestly, I would love to get to the point where I can just casually doodle people that easily. I hope one day I can. I'm trying, I'm trying. Like I said, I got a bit annoyed trying to do people, and it just really annoyed me, so I tried vehicles, because to get back to my original rant, vehicles, the shapes are easier, right? There's a lot less... Like, obviously the details can be quite detailed, but like, the details can be detailed. Fuck me, Kerbal. Is water also wet? Kibash. Okay, Metal Mini. Good lord. Good lord. Good luck. Good luck, man. Holy shit. White metal. God damn. Sunny's heart. Yes. But, you know what I mean? Vehicles are made up of simpler shapes. Right? So, like a car. There's not that many shapes in a car, is there, when you think about it? Right? You're trying, and I've seen lots of pieces on Discord. Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to make time for it, along with other artistic endeavors which I've been putting off. I've also been trying to include them in my videos as well. I want to kind of make visuals for my videos, so if that's further motivation for me to draw stuff, then good. Hell, if I could draw... Honestly, I might try and really work at drawing like a rendition of the Archivist at their desk or something. That'd be nice. Like, draw them actually at their desk on a screen or something. That'd be kind of nice. And then I could add in, as part of the editing, a drawing of the thing they're looking at. That'd be a long-term cool thing I'd like to do. I think that'd be cool. But yeah, other than that, like I said, there's a lot of things for my setting I want to draw. I want to draw this stuff. I might also make an actual map. I've realized it might be really helpful to have a map of like the world, my setting. So, I'm gonna need to go make that, I think. But I know. I think, like I said earlier, I need to get better at using Ibis Paint. I've been trying coloring. I have got a reference for the map, actually, that I've seen, which is quite good. I found one online, something I can use for a good reference point. Kibashima Incubi. Honestly, the Incubi are the coolest unit of Dark Eldar. I will fight anyone. The Incubi are so fucking cool. They're genuinely just badass looking. Like, if there's one unit that sets the faction apart, it's them. The segmented armor, the massive clave. Oh. They are freaky. They're freaky, but they're actually less freaky than the rest of their race. They have a modicum of honor. Modicum. Which is not common in Dark Eldar society. Most of the goth baddies in Dark Eldar society are fucking insane. And apparently one of them looks like Shadowheart for some reason. Don't ask me why. But let's be honest, she does. Oh god, Pain, you're gonna have to... Vect had a model back in 5th Ed, didn't he? I wish you luck on bashing that one together. Oh, no worries. Cablites are good. The Scourge is always a fun unit to be. Yes, but this one I'm pretty sure ripped out her own heart and replaced it with some crystal, and she talks to herself and cackles in the mirror, so... On the upper end of the insane goth baddies. Also loves poison. Then again, we have Lilith Hesperack with dogs out, so I mean, you know... Different strokes for different folks, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, I'd also like to draw some Warhammer stuff as well. I think that might be cool. Some depictions of my knight in particular. I just think that'd be cool, you know. I just think it'd be kind of neat. But definitely, I will say this. I know once I've cracked this sort of, the roof of this sort of stage I'm at with drawing, I'm sure it'll start feeling easier. I suppose, really, I need to go and pull out my old minis, my old, like, Admech. Although I did repaint a bunch of stuff from it. Tybros... Oh, Red Wake. There's some good art of him. Yeah, he's cool. Likely to get a new mini. Yeah, no, the space sharks are cool stuff. And again, I'm doing some... Not yet. I'm doing some Archons, Incuba, it has Warriors, some Witches, and plus Talos. Fair enough. The transports haven't changed much, so the plastic model will still probably look like the ones in 5th Ed. I think they're slightly less pointy, but they look great, honestly. The transports for them look amazing. I painted mine as the Cabal... No, the Lords the Iron Fawn, specifically. They're a weird one to paint, but I like how they turned out, personally. Didn't Abaddon meet him once and thought he was a returned Primarch? I don't actually know on that one. There's some people who think he either is or is related to a lost Primarch. Personally, I think he is a bit of an aberration because his chapter's gene seed is... I think personally he is a bit of an aberration because his chapter's gene seed is, in my opinion, I think it's chimeric. He is 100. In my opinion, they are 100% a Raven Guard Night Lord mix. It's why the Astral Claws call them mongrels, and also why they both reference the same shadowy liege. He is as tall as Vulcan now, by the way. Is he? Insane. Do the same retro scheme. About armor. I have to double check that source, but that's insane if true. Vulcan's the biggest of the Primarchs, so that's insane if true. Just to stress, that would mean he's bigger than Gilliman. So, that's insane if true. I mean, he hasn't gone through the Rubicon yet, so... I just hope if he does, they make his mini look the same. I honestly just want the same mini, but bigger. That's it. They don't have to change anything. I hope they don't change anything either, frankly. Because his mini looked perfect. Though GW aren't above ruining chapter relics. They did that for Strike, so... But Hunger and Slake, no. Those things are iconic. I also hope that at some point we get the original owner of those in Heresy at some point, personally. Because those things are ancient. Yeah, I want to draw some more people-sized things soon, but I think one thing I want to do, actually, that I think will be within my ability, is I want to draw a logo for each of the major factions. I'm doing an overview video of each of the major factions in my setting. All 7 of them. Yep, there are 7. I'm a lunatic like that. And I want to do one for each. Actually, Payne, he does have a pet shark on his ship. He has a literal fucking megalodon on his ship. I'm not even kidding. His vessel has a massive tank, big enough for a megalodon. Jeff's a pet. Well, don't you know that they have Jeff and Gora on their ship? As well as the Holy Blahaj. They have all the shark things. Also, speaking of which, I need to get okay at drawing animals. If nothing else, I need to draw the Doom Shark that I promised Decker I would draw. I would like to draw that, actually. I have ideas for how he'll look, but I need to, like, plan it out better. What's a Doom Shark? Don't worry about it. There's Sunday's video. My Gora. So Gora had to commit to a role as chapter master. The secret liege of the chapter, Gargora. Also, I swear, chat. Why is everyone getting Easter models all of a sudden? I was not expecting to open my feed and see so much tasteful artworks. 7 to start. I'm considering my world to start with 3 major factions and later on 4 of each faction plus some factions. See, I'm also gonna have some factions. Paint. This is how my neurodivergence manifests, you see. Now, here's the problem. The first couple had solid ideas, and the rest have got a general idea I need to flesh out. But the problem is I fleshed them out based on my interests. So, Neo Eden, for example, is the most fleshed out. Because it's the one based off me. The VTuber model, then the lore, then the setting. And of course the city, the one behind me, is literally the first faction I've fleshed out. Next update involving him, he will be bigger than Vulcan. I look forward to seeing it, if so, man, honestly. I want the Space Sharks to get something, honestly. Going off how Games Workshop have been fleshing out these sub-factions, with like the Red Corsairs getting a whole ass unit, and multiple name characters, technically. Hence, they're my Chaos Warband. Considering how their detachments work now, by the way, you could make them sneaky and have something else. You can have 2 detachments per thing. So, in the new rules, it might be very doable. We'll have to see how it works. I just want the Psychers of them to have the summon shark draw ability that they suppose they can do. Also, chain axes. Give them chain axes, please. And old school armor. I want some veteran space sharks and, like, mix of Mark II and 3 that's been modified for Primaris. That'd be cool as shit. But yeah, 7 is how it ended up working. I basically sat there and I essentially started breaking down an idea. So with me, with like the original starting idea, um, you got like cybernetics, genetic modification, um, and the idea of using the soul in technology, right? So the soul part was kept to Neo Eden, and genetic modifications exist a little bit, but not massive, and cybernetics is quite prevalent. So that was a big theme for that one. Then, for another faction, it was more on the cybernetics, but they lacked some of the technologies to make things smaller, so their cybernetics are bigger. And that then fleshed into them being more mobile, and hence I kind of built them off a like futuristic Mongolia. Just I would not like the 12-foot Terminator armory to notice that I noticed him. I don't want to notice this one. Exactly. But then I'd also want. So then I had that idea, and then I had another faction who were less on slight augmentation and more on power armor and conventional militaries. Mine are the USW United Space World Humanity United. Wolfarians are alien race squid people. Sleep in cryo. Still Empire, separate angels from a different reality with phonetic thoughts. Ah, okay, nice. I like it. I like it. Let me think. And then, so after them, there's. I wanted one faction to represent genetic modification heavily, but I also want them to be kind of nomadic. And in the case like the Stimmers, I wanted them to have a kind of very rugged kind of feel. And also to play a part where a lot of them came from America, as why they have so many guns. Yeah, a lot of their naval craft, their sand ships, are converted ships that were taken from various ports around America. That's why they've got so many. It's where the idea started, essentially. Then to counter them was the heretic raiders, who were kind of a halfway between a more humanoid faction and a more demonic faction. Then the actual demons, and then I kind of wanted a Tyranid-esque race. That's where the Wasteland Horrors came from. So that's kind of how I kind of created it. I had ideas for an ape faction, but I decided against it initially. I wanted to flesh out the 7 first, and then if I had room, go from there. Tis the plan. Maybe it's too many, but I'll get around to them all. I have a rough idea for each that I think's pretty solid. My idea for a potential 8th one would have involved necromancy, but using cyborg bits and some bastardized technology around the soul. But, you know, we'll see if it feels right once I've fleshed out the setting more. It might not quite fit. But then there are some, like, unexplainable, almost eldritch shit in the setting, so... Yeah, I mean... I might just take you up on that one, buddy. I might just take you up on that. I've got to see how it feels next to all the others, honestly. That's the only thing. I don't want to make something that doesn't feel right next to the others. I think it will. They're all a bit different in their themes and looks, but I do want to decide on an aesthetic and try and go from there. It's why I want to try and draw them myself. I've found a few people on Twitter who do great concept art, and I was very tempted to see if I can get them to do it, but I honestly want to do it myself because I want to try and be consistent. Like, Not that they won't be consistent, but if I end up getting different people to do stuff, it might not quite line up how I want, so I want to do it myself. As much as that's the hard way of doing it, I think I will have an aesthetic I'm happy with. Who knows, maybe one day we can fund it and I'll get some help with that, but at least for now I want to do it myself. Tis the thing I would like to do. But I've got ideas. Ironically, that second vehicle I showed off isn't even going to be in an army. That's just I say civilian. It's a corporate expeditionary vehicle. It's just been upgraded with a weapon. Both action, the Shadow Island, a parasite hive that has original Shadow. 100 queens around space. They're kind of like nids against swarm. Alright, yeah. I like the idea of that. Honestly, a good sci-fi needs some, like, good, horrifying shit. Gotta get that brain working. I'm quite interested. I don't know if you follow this game, but Sins of the Solar Empire 2 is gonna get a fourth faction at some point. And it's supposedly the faction that made the alien faction in that game scared and ran away towards the human end of space. So I really want to know what that looks like, because the alien race are really terrifying. So I am very curious how it'll all come together. The alien race also is my favorite, like, massive starship. Okay, I'm welcome with it. Fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed. Yeah, honestly, I'd like to be able to, like, at least make mine into a like a skirmish game. I was quite inspired by Trench Crusade in a lot of ways for that. Which, speaking of Trench Crusade, their new expansion looks really good, and I'm glad they got a starter box finally. Well, I have a few stories in the works. I'm gonna try and finish one of them before the end of this year. Hell yeah! I think that's a reasonable goal to get one in the end of the year. I think that's more than reasonable, honestly. So yeah, absolutely, power to you, man. Hopefully you manage it. I know I've got a few goals by the end of the year. There's a lot of bits I want to have done. I also want to try and... I was going to say 1,500 points of dudes for 40k, but that might change when the next edition rolls over, so it might not be 1,500 points anymore. I don't know. I'll have to find out. I hope the Knight Lancer will still have rules by then. Although I do want a Defiler. I really want a Defiler. It's so cool. Oh, the Defiler is genuinely cool. My settings around 100 solar systems, 500 each year in the future. Current problems with AI solved, kinda. Okay, okay. Oh, buddy. Okay. Pain away. Click, click, removing leg. Left foot. You have to hack that thigh meat off. Pull the trigger. You've reminded me of the other song I would probably sing if I got too drunk. Unironically, Devil Trigger. It's the second best DMC song. After Bury the Light, of course. I mean, Subhumans are a good one too, but I like Bury the Light and Devil Trigger personally. Exactly. Oh, it's so good. I think one song from a game, though, that has really stuck with me, the Shadowbringers song. The full fat Shadowbringers song. Oh. Oh, that one sends shivers down my fucking spine when I hear that one. Oh. My super focus has shifted between many, but each uses their own unique languages. Damn, you info languages. I can respect it. It ain't easy, but I can respect it. My dyslexic ass would struggle. Although I did decide on one thing. I did decide on one thing actually for languages. The default language for Cyber Angels is Latin. That's the default language. I don't know, I kind of wanted a bit of a biblical nod. It's just they're all extremely cyborged up, so changing language on the fly is not difficult. Actually, you know what? You've made me think now. The deck is hitting that full sending it. I do like that song though, it's so good. Gonna write. No worries. Oh. Yeah. It is a good song. It is good. It's made me think now. What would be the default language for each nation technically? Because a lot of them. So a lot of the setting. So it's like in my setting, it's obviously a good bit in the future, but then after the calamities, about 200 years later, is the current state of things. I guess yeah, New Eden could be a variant of Latin. Honestly, that could just be the common thing in Neo Eden. Latin is the default. And then I guess for the other nations, it'd be a real mix of things. Probably Latin would be quite prevalent, but then you got like the Republic, that's a mix of North Africa and much of Europe. Honestly, that one might have a mix of Germanic, and a few other languages blended in there for the Republic, because they. So, Neo Eden is made up of a lot of people from a lot of Western nations, but some from. There's also some from Latin America as well that came over there. A lot of Brazilians and the like came over to there. The ones who didn't ended up becoming stimmers. They've got a variety of languages. There's no formality of them. There's obviously people who joined the heretic side of things, one way or another. They got their own shit going on. The Republic over in Europe and North Africa, they've definitely got a blend of things. And then the Empire are gonna have a real messy one because they're kind of a hodgepodge of Mongolia, Russia, China, but they go through the Middle East about as far as Turkey. And they've got a lot of land in between. They're quite vast, honestly. So they might have a few, actually, from just the fact how big they are. Made him hungry, but although there's an outpost in New York, there's an outpost in Britain, and there's one in Brazil for New Eden. The New York one, I think my rough idea of that is a monitoring station. The one in Britain is because it's to secure rainwater, as that's quite prevalent and important. And the one in Brazil is to monitor the Amazon, because the Amazon's one of the few green places left, and it's important because of all the oxygen it produces. Because, you know, breathing is useful, and air is a bit thin outside the cities. So actually, a lot of people who aren't augmented have to wear masks. you could do that. Chinese as a language persisted since it's already the oldest living language. You know what? Yeah, fair enough. And there's a lot of people in China, so the empire's core would be made up of a lot of people from China. Honestly, of Chinese. So it would probably be the dominant language, with probably a few others sort of blended in some of the more far flung parts of the nation. But I can see Chinese being kind of the dominant one. Their emperor is very much a Genghis Khan meets the Jade Emperor kind of thing. We're doing it, we're brainstorming. God damn, we are. Yeah, their emperor is kind of a juiced up fucking enlightened one. Kind of a Jade Emperor meets Genghis Khan kind of thing. He might be. See, they call him immortal, and as far as most people outside the Empire are concerned, he fucking is. Whether he is or not, it's a different question, but he might be. But I might join you in the VC after the stream, Decker. Actually, which speaking of, my dear sinners, I will be wrapping up this one. So I do hope you had a good time and enjoyed my rambling and insanity. Tomorrow we're going to play some Ultra Kill, and for the rest of the week we're going to be doing some Alien Isolation as voted by you. Don't forget, if you're in the Discord, you may well decide what we play, what we do. So do feel free to join us. We're a nice bunch, I promise, and only a few of us bite. You know. Means for long, what? For long life was sky, water, and earth. For life. Oh. Ooh, nice. I like it. My god, man's making his own languages. Holy shit. Hats off to you. Seriously. Right. I will wrap it up here, folks. I wish you all a wonderful night, and I will see you all tomorrow for some Ultra Kill. Until then, ta for now. And yes, we'll raid somebody, don't worry.
This is for your lore.